It's Unfolded, episode 20, buddy. 5 months. How's that sound, huh?
20!
20. So, as usual, man, got a ton to cover. Really excited about what we're going to go over today. So, let's just start off with our leadoff story with Ron and Ron, as our graphic said. I got booted out. Leadoff
It's all me, baby. All me.
All you, my friend. The Phoenix Suns have advanced to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1993. What chances are you giving them to win it all? And who do you feel is the better matchup for them come out of the East?
I actually think they might have a really good shot at this.
I do too.
I would think Atlanta Hawks would probably be what they'd want.
Really?
But you just take it as it goes, because if you intend on winning, you can't say, "Hey, we want this team more than the other team," because you already beat yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I'm saying who would they prefer. I'm saying, what do you feel would be the best matchup for them?
Well, the way Young has been shooting, I wouldn't really want him. God, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
so
tough.
the way I look at it, Atlanta could definitely keep up with them points wise. So I think they'd rather have Milwaukee, who isn't as good of a scoring team. So it really gives them an opportunity to do what they like to do, is run up and down the court, get that fast pace. I think Atlanta could stay with them on that.
And I think Atlanta may be more mature as a group. By that I mean, like, Milwaukee is still susceptible to that being too young as a team, even though it's technically not. But I think experience as a whole, as far as they're concerned, they do fall back into bad young tendencies a lot and don't take games as serious as they should. And that's what I mean by, they could fall victim to themselves, basically.
What about Chris Paul scoring 41 points in the clinching game 6 over the Clippers?
I got to give him a lot of credit, because basically we, said that he didn't have that kind of thing in him.
Right. So we've questioned his toughness in the playoffs. Yeah, so we've always questioned it, and he proved it. So, which was really good.
Yep.
So I'm going to throw out some names for you.
Fantastic.
So the last time they actually made it in 1993, do you remember any of their players?
I believe Barkley was on that team. Was he on that team?
Barkley was on that team.
Eliminated by no. He got eliminated from Utah when he was playing.
He was in Phoenix.
He was there?
Yeah, he was.
It's been a while. Okay, so he was there. And I remember somebody else. Nash? Was it Nash?
No. Kevin Johnson?
That was before that. Kevin Johnson. I knew there was a guy that I was forgetting. That was the guy I was forgetting.
How about Thunder Dan Marley?
Dan Marley. My Lord.
Yeah. Tom Chambers.
Yeah.
And one.
That was a good team.
Mr. Danny Ainge.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow,
that's how long. So if you think about it, that's the last time they were in the finals. And obviously they lost to Jordan. Muggsy Bogues was not on that team, Rick. Muggsy Bogues was not on that team.
I got to tell you, it's like looking back, that was really a great team. And it's a shame that Barkley didn't get one, to be honest with you. I like Charles Barkley.
He faced the greatest player in the history of the NBA, so.
I mean, Utah felt the same way, so.
Yeah. Spud Webb was a national hero. Rick's chiming in. Dan joined us as well tonight. Thank you, both gentlemen. And he wants you to, I can't even say it. I don't even know that word. Hooligans. All right. What about let's move on to the NBA. So the Bucks and the Hawks series has taken a turn with the injuries to superstars on both teams. Which injury do you think will cost the team more, Giannis or Trae Young?
Giannis. I think that's a bigger deal. I think
so. Milwaukee won last night without Giannis.
Right.
So the Bucks are up 3-2 currently.
Yeah, and if he's not going to play again tonight, I would definitely. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. I would say, I think it would even up if Giannis isn't playing tomorrow night. And so do I think that they should hold him out? Yeah.
So Middleton and Holiday have both stepped up in this series, averaging over 20 points a game.
Right.
Next highest scorer in Atlanta is Collins at 12.8 points a game.
Right.
I don't see them. They need to do something. If you can't replace the 32 points from Trae Young, I can't see the Hawks getting out of Game 6, which is a shame because if both teams were healthy, I really felt Atlanta had a shot.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking kind of for Atlanta. But I think Milwaukee will get it done no matter what. But depending on
think about the way he got injured. He stepped on a referee's foot.
Yeah,
like sucks. It's not even. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like he's going up and he landed on a player. It was the referee on the sideline. So, I mean, I don't believe Giannis is. He had no structural damage, so that's good. So if there is a chance for them to go to the finals, I believe he will play. Dan believes the Bucks, so we can definitely see the Bucks probably going against the Phoenix Suns, which would be really interesting. Neither player played in Game 5. Young's missed 2 straight, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking for Atlanta if they can't get him on the floor. I mean, that's nailed in the coffin, I think.
Yeah,
if he doesn't play.
I think so. Yeah, it's pretty devastating for them. Chauncey Billups, at age 44, was hired to be the next head basketball coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. Do you like the hire, and will Damian Lillard stay in Portland based on that hire?
I think that was a great hire. I think the players around the league, it's not even just, where he's played. The players around the league respect this guy. And I'll tell you, he grew so much from when he was drafted to when he retired. Like, he was a class act and a great player. He blossomed to be something special, to be honest with you. I mean, do I think he's a Hall of Famer? I don't know. Maybe. Borderline, but I mean, character that he is truly where the credit lies, and I think that's the perfect guy that they could have signed there in Portland, and that might get Lillard to stay.
So what year was he drafted?
Oh my God!
Do you remember?
I don't remember that. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
97. 97.
Wow.
Do you remember by who?
Well, it was the Celtics.
Very good. Okay, I just want to make sure. So he was.
I knew that. I knew that. I know.
2004, he won the championship with the Detroit Pistons, and he was the Finals MVP. So you talk about some of that swag when it comes in the locker room of knowing how to win. I think that definitely helps. I feel the key here is, and we've heard a lot about it from. Go ahead.
No, think about when he was drafted to when he won chip in Detroit. The growth that he had from that, 5 years?
7.
Was it 5 years? 7 years. Okay, 7 years. That's tremendous growth. How long has Tatum been around?
About 5 years now, so.
You think he's grown that much?
Not to win a championship now.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. It's like I don't see it. So
I also looked at this. If you look at Ty Lue, who has been complimented immensely by all the players on his adjustments, he was an assistant on the Ty Lue this season. And if you think about the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard and how far they almost came to winning the West, it's pretty impressive. So I think he has that coaching, gene in him. The question would be so he had a 1997 sexual assault accusation, which kind of came up. I don't think it's relevant. He's talked about how he's grown from the experience and what happened. It's just weird that people wanted to bring it up as soon as he got hired.
Yeah, that's how people are.
Yeah,
they
got to knock him down.
Guy before, exactly. So I don't know much about that. I don't really remember a whole lot about that story. But I mean, let's get some facts before they make blatant, accusations of what happened, and that goes for anybody. I'm sure there's plenty out there that have done some wrong things and it never get out. But what about those people that had accusations and none of it was even true? There's a lot of those players as well. So we gotta be more cautious about the accusations. And that's not just us. I'm talking about everybody around the world.
I think regardless of the situation, if you think about life lessons and how he can teach young players who are coming into the league how to, make sure they don't make the same mistakes. As for Damian Lillard, I can't see why he wouldn't want to stay and play for Chauncey Billups. So I think that was a good move. The key, though, is they're going to keep McCollum because they've been talking about trading him. So that'll be interesting. Dan wants us to cover baseball already. We're not on baseball yet. We're going to go to the NHL. NHL, though. NHL. So the Tampa Bay Lightning lead the Stanley Cup Finals 2-0 over the Montreal Canadiens. I know there's a little part of you inside that's just so happy.
Yeah.
The series switches back to Montreal tonight.
This
Can't hold back, can you?
This just proves to me that Montreal had no business being in the Stanley Cup. They are outclassed, outmatched in every department.
As the series switches back to Montreal, can they even up the series at home?
No. It's going to be 4 and over. Done. That's it. Done. Tampa Bay is not going to let off the gas. They know what they have to do, and they are doing it. They are just taking it to Montreal. Montreal gave everything they had in Game 2, and it resulted into nothing.
So what do you think the struggle is with Price now?
Montreal has really shown its true colors. That's basically what it is. Price hasn't done anything wrong. It's just the quality chances are just amazing. Like Tampa Bay is just all over them. Montreal is not even in the same league as them.
So we did a Facebook poll. 67% said that Tampa Bay will win the series. It's starting to look like they might get that one right.
67.
Interesting fact. Tampa Bay has scored 5 or more goals 5 times in the playoffs. So they definitely put the puck in the net. And I think the offensive issues with Montreal, if you can't score 3 to 4 goals in a game, I mean, they've scored 2 goals in the Stanley Cup so far. You don't even have a shot to win this.
No. And that's what I'm saying. It's like Tampa Bay right now is a machine. Everything and everyone is playing their best. Everyone. There's no guys taking a day off. They are all playing what they're capable of playing, and it shows. Just the way
Dan has said the price is right.
Everything is going down.
Price is right, Ron. That's Dan. I love that.
Bob Barker.
Little Bob Barker makes the show. I love it.
I'm Happy Gilmore.
Sports Unfolded. We cover it all. We go everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk some Olympic in Olympic basketball. So the U.S. men's basketball has announced their team for the Summer Olympics. Any players that you don't agree with?
Well, there's a few of them I don't agree with, but I mean,
What do you got?
it doesn't matter. You put the 5 starters in there, and what's going to happen? It's going to be a blowout. Like, who's going to keep up with them? Who's going to keep up?
So explain to me, like, how Kevin Love makes the team.
No, I don't understand that one. But it doesn't matter. Is he going to see a lot of playing time? No.
Jason Tatum?
Yeah, I can see that. You know,
Jeremy Grant?
I don't think Tatum's going to be a starter.
No, I don't. Kevin Durant should definitely start. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
I mean, from a size standpoint, they really don't. They have Bam Adebayo,
Lillard,
Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton.
Yeah, Lillard has to start, right? Well, Chris Middleton will come off the bench.
Yeah. Draymond
Him
Green
and Tatum
off the
will
bench.
probably be the first 2 off the bench.
Drew
Yeah,
Holiday.
that one's a little questionable. I think he might be. I think he. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's showing he belongs there. He's showing that.
So
Like,
what about
these guys are good players. It's just. Well, I was a little curious as to I don't know the reasons why some of these players aren't there, like Steph. You know, I would have liked to see Steph Curry.
I believe he declined.
Yeah, I figured because absolutely wanted him. I mean, had to. Like, who do not? But like, there's players that probably declined because they need the time off, as if they don't get enough.
Yeah. So some of my question would be: so think about this. You got Devin Booker, who's going to be in the finals. Chris Middleton, who could be in the finals. Drew Holiday, who could be in the finals. That could hurt the U.S. team, though. That's a lot of basketball to continue to play. So I'm curious. What about Zion Williamson?
That one is one that I thought should have been there. He should have been there, not Kevin Love.
What about Trae Young?
Well, was he even in the mix of, the chatter? So, like, did he just tell him, no, I don't want to?
I didn't hear he declined. I would
wonder why.
Over Zach LaVine, I would take Trae Young.
Well, absolutely. So, like, I don't know if they're snubbed as much as maybe declining to play. Like, we don't really know until it all comes out, and eventually everything comes out if there's a problem. So if there's something down the line, it's like, oh well, I should have been there instead. Somebody will say it if they feel it. You know what I'm saying? So it will be said at some point by somebody, and then we'll have to wonder. And right now, the biggest one that sticks in my mind is Kevin Love shouldn't be there, and Zion should be there.
So head coach Craig Popovich, assistant coach Steve Kerr, Lloyd Pierce,
this is like a dream team just for coaches.
Right?
This is a dream team coach.
Really good team. Obviously, anything other than gold would be a huge disappointment.
Oh my God! If they don't get gold,
right? And I think Kevin Durant,
if they don't get gold, mixed feelings about that. Like, Kevin Durant's a great player. Like, he's going to be the best player. Like, that's not even a question. He's the best player. Will he be healthy? He's a player that should have declined.
Yeah.
With his health problems, he should have declined. And I think that's a little bit of greed on him. Yes, greed.
Wow.
But, I mean, when you have the best player, in the tournament, like, you better have those results. Especially when you have the cast that they have. Like, there's nobody that's going to match up to this team. Nobody.
No, there shouldn't be. They should roll, you would think, anyway. Once again, if you're joining us, we are live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Join us on social media on Facebook and Twitter at Sports Unfolded, on Twitter at BroadcastingRI, Instagram at Sports_Unfolded, and follow us on our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and Google. So a lot of ways for you to see the show, hear the show. Appreciate any support, any follows would go a huge way to help us continue to grow our show here. So we appreciate all the fans out there. New segment, Triple Play. You ready?
No.
So, out of the 3 point guards that are remaining in the playoffs currently, who would you start, who would you bench, and who would you cut? So the starting point guards are Trae Young, Chris Paul, and Drew Holiday. I believe I go first this week.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I am starting Trae Young. I just feel from a shooting standpoint, he can do so many things dangerously, keeps the defense on edge, can shoot from half court and make them. I'm benching Chris Paul because I want him on my team for his leadership, and he can also go for 41 on any given night like he proved in Game 6. I would cut Drew Holiday. I think he's too inconsistent. I think he ends up hurting that team more than helping that team with the Bucks because they expect him to be the 20 to 25-point guy, and there's games he goes for 20, and then there's games he barely shoots 20%. So that's how I picked my triple play. What do you got, Ron?
Oh, the same exact thing. The same exact thing. Young has just proven that he is ready to, take the baton and move forward as, the league's best. Really, I don't think there'll be any question when we start next season that he is point guard. And Chris Paul, I mean, well, you said it himself. Like, he can drop 40. He can drop 40 on you. He's a great player. And, just he isn't young. I mean, that's basically it. Young is got the better shot. He's got, all the tools to make for, a top point guard in the league. And
So
sorry,
Dan believes Paul should start.
It's a
It's
shame
a tough
because
call.
Holiday is a good player, and he's just overshadowed by the other two.
Of
Way
the three,
overshadowed.
yeah. So Paul starts, Young cut. I can't believe that Dan would cut Young. I do not know what basketball he's watching.
I don't know.
He's not watching. He's not watching NBA basketball.
Yeah, maybe it's the European League somewhere out there in Croatia or something like that.
So
that could be what he's watching.
This debate, we've had this debate in the past, but we're going to talk extensively about this now because a fan request. So Mickey in Connecticut, who's one of our biggest fans, has asked which quarterback will be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots on Week 1. Cam Newton or Mac Jones? So I'm going to tell you right now, take emotion out of this.
I believe it should be.
Take emotion out of it.
I think it should be Mac, I'm telling you.
Based on?
I think it should be Mac. Better.
Based on? You got to give me a reason. No?
His accuracy is better than Cam's. All right, when players are coming off the break and they're off, Cam doesn't, and if he does get the ball there, it's a little off, and they have to turn, and it leaves the receivers vulnerable. He does that way too often, and yes, I understand there was some pretty bad receivers, but I think that's the facts. Like, Cam is just not accurate enough.
Okay, so Dan thinks Jones as well, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to ask you this question, and you can be completely honest with me. How many passes have you seen Mac Jones throw in the NFL?
None. Absolutely none.
Okay.
But I've seen enough of passes.
What are you basing on?
To know, I've seen this is from Cam, to know the accuracy is not there. And this offense is going to warrant accuracy.
So if we're gonna debate on accuracy right now, we haven't seen, again, Mac Jones throw an NFL pass.
Nope.
He had the best college team in America, in Alabama, one of the best offensive lines, two of the top receivers, one of the best running backs.
Yep.
Right? He's going to look good in college.
Yeah. Right.
We're talking about the NFL now. We're talking about a different game. Schemes, looks, faster players, things he hasn't seen before.
And
we're expecting him on week 1 to be ready. Week 1. I'm not saying at some point in this season.
No, I'm telling you, this is why when we looked at the quarterbacks coming out in the draft, and I loved 2 quarterbacks in that draft. Mac Jones was one of them. Okay. Yep. I think the Jets made a horrible decision. And when you have that intelligence to know where you're supposed to throw the ball at that second, like, these are decisions on the fly that you have to make. Mac Jones seems to have all of that. And no, it's not a perfect, scenario where you know exactly what they're going to do in their career. But you see the intelligence of how he plays the position. And yes, he might not have the biggest arm and all of that, but he might have the best brain out of all of the 5.
So let me ask you this question. Who's the greatest quarterback in the NFL today?
Wait a minute, is it or just right now?
Career. We could go career. Who's the greatest quarterback in the history? Who's the GOAT?
Career-wise, career is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the best. Tom Brady is the best.
Tom Brady started his first year?
Not even close. No, he did not.
Who would you say is probably in today who's sitting out with the Green Bay Packers, so I'll give you a hint, is probably the second greatest quarterback in the league?
Right.
Did he start his first year?
I'm not saying. I am not saying that Mac Jones mistakes. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect out the gate.
It doesn't make sense for the New England Patriots to start Mac Jones. It doesn't make sense for them.
Is he going to Cam Newton how to throw a bad ball?
No, but he should learn. He can learn the system. He can learn from the coaching staff. Give him the year to mature and understand the game and see the game at actual speeds and time. And then
that could happen.
I would say he's ready. Dan's still on Trae Young.
Hey, it could be him that starts, but I would not because look, Mac Jones is better. He's better than Cam is. He's better.
He's better doesn't mean that it's a good decision for New England.
We're talking about making it is perfect.
So you'd rather put a kid out there who's not ready and then let him struggle and then put doubt in his mind versus
who said he's not going to be ready? We don't know that.
Okay.
Look, I think the intelligence is well underlooked in this case. I think the kid. I think he can do.
I agree with you. I think he's a very smart quarterback.
Yeah.
I just don't see how New England putting him in on week 1 would make sense based on the fact it's not a Belichick move. It's not a Belichick move. It doesn't make sense.
It's not. No, it definitely isn't. And that is why it could end up happening. This could
honestly
be.
Tom Brady was probably better than Drew Bledsoe that first year, just based on what you're saying, accuracy, intelligence, right? You don't win 7 Super Bowls if you're not smart, if you're not accurate. And yet, that first year, he had to learn the system, learn how to be an NFL quarterback. Then he got into the games. And he wasn't blazing. It wasn't like Tom Brady blew us out of the water from the first. It took him time.
This is the point I'm making. I think they could make the offense simple like they did with Tom Brady at first. A lot of screen plays, little quick little slants and outs and all those little plays so you're not going down the field. But I think with plays like that, I think Mac Jones would be better off because you can't do that with Cam because he's not accurate enough for those passes that they're going to ask him to make. And frankly, I don't want to see a quarterback running all over the field, because he doesn't know how to make a decision.
So we did a Facebook poll. 57% of the fans believe it will be Cam Newton who starts week 1.
Yeah, so it's kind of
close. At one point, it was 50-50, and then the last couple of days more for Cam. I would say this. Look, I think we made a great choice in New England by picking up Mac Jones. I really do.
Oh,
I just feel like week
whether he starts this year or not.
Yeah, week 1 would be a stretch if you're the New England Patriots to say. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. Bill Belichick loves Cam Newton. He says things about Cam that he's never said about another player. So I can't see him just saying, hey, I'm going to put him on the back burner. I don't care how good Mac Jones is. I think he's trying to prove something that he can win with Cam Newton. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, we do have to wonder what the factor of comments like Kraft made there in draft, all that. He said that they haven't drafted very well and blah, blah, blah. So I think there was a little pressure on Bill to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
So is going to be that kind of pressure coming from Kraft, hey, we made it on this kid, give him a shot.
So I would say
there's going to be any kind of that pressure. Frankly, I don't think so. It was way too easy for him to name Cam Newton, as the starter. I think something smells that decision right off the top. And I think it was more of, okay, let's boost up Cam's confidence so that way he performs and does win the job. That's what I feel is looking at. And I don't feel what it comes down to. Yeah. So he doesn't care who it costs at this point because he wants to show Tom that he's the guy. That's what he wants. So it's going to be whoever is the victim.
So I will say this. If we look at how Bill Belichick coaches, he always plays it in quarters, right? And then usually you want to be playing your best football in November, December. If the Patriots are 2-2 after week 4, I think they may change. If the Patriots are 3-1, 4-0, which would be beautiful, but that's not going to happen. I can't see them making a change this year.
Well, game 4,
I think he'll ride it out.
Yeah, look, like I said, whoever's that first quarterback out of the gate, they get a lot of problem because the guy sitting on the bench it's going to be a window to that guy. So whoever starts is going to get a lot of pressure, a lot.
Yeah. So once again, I want to thank Mickey from Connecticut for giving us this question. If any of the fans, reach out to us during the course of the week if there's any topic you'd like us to cover, and then we'll definitely make sure we discuss it on next week's show. So appreciate that, Mickey. Thank you for the question.
A topic. Yeah, it could be a topic or even a player you want us to cover.
So
Dan, pretty much anything.
Dan's asking, which NFL am I watching? It's the NFL that doesn't have Trae Young, who's one of the best young point guards in the NBA that you would cut. That's the NFL I'm watching. He's going to challenge me after saying Trae Young should be cut. I don't know what sports he's watching, but it's not, like you said, Ron, from this country.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we don't agree on much, but that was what we had to agree on.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he thinks we were talking about World Cup soccer, and there's a guy named
At
Young.
this point, I take those 2-point guards over anybody. Oh, yes, that's what it is.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. So,
who was asking about baseball earlier?
Last week, you had your opportunity to rant a little bit. Do you recall?
Yeah, I did. Oh,
I think it's my week. This week's my week.
Oh,
this
yes.
might be my week.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to go into Major League Baseball, and with the Yankees struggles, who got swept by the Red Sox the other night, last weekend. Should the New York Yankees fire Aaron Boone?
That was one of my predictions that they would win the series.
You did very good.
Oh my God! Absolutely. Like, this is an absolute no-brainer. How do you keep this guy? He's clearly got the best. Which one shouldn't they? Actually, you know what? You got to keep Cash because he gave the best lineup in baseball. But Boone not doing anything with it. Like, come on.
Listen.
Look at this. I mean, this team should be in first place.
Stanton was a horrible pickup. Should have never happened. Cashman threw Cash at him. Was nowhere near. That guy has barely played for the New York Yankees. Made no sense.
I know.
Aaron Boone, you're 100% right, though, has accepted losing. The organization has accepted losing. The fact that they have a winning record pisses me off because I'd rather them just stink, and then at least I could justify the fact that they are in fourth place in the AL East, and the Red Sox, who just can't seem to lose a damn game. They just can't. It doesn't make any sense. Trade some of these guys. Try to get rid of Stanton. Try to get rid of Chapman, who gives up 4 runs as your closer when you scored 7 in the first inning against the Angels, and then give up 7 in the ninth. What is going on with this team? It makes no sense whatsoever. Aaron Boone should literally, I don't even understand at this point, has made it this far because the fact that I've heard Cashman, who's your general manager, say, yeah, we suck, just goes to show that he doesn't even feel confident in what he's doing. That's your team. You built it.
Yeah.
And that's your comment? Yeah. We suck. Aaron Boone, we've basically accepted losing. That's because you've basically let them accept losing. The 2 guys in charge both should be fired. I can't understand what Steinbrenner is doing right now. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Maybe he's hanging out with George Costanza. You know, so he's being a loser too.
He's got the calzones going, and the calzones are just going in the vent, and
George,
he's all excited.
Give me some of those calzones!
Right? Because it's not making sense to me. I am disgusted as a Yankee fan. If they were Yankees suck, Boone is complacent with, absolutely. It makes with a bathrobe. He should be in a bathrobe because he shouldn't be in a dugout. He stinks. I never liked that hire from the beginning. They need to get a guy in there that's fiery and is going to get in these guys.
Well, I should say I love the hiring of Boone.
Yeah, you would.
He's ran this team into the ground. I mean, come on. Like, he doesn't make the right decisions.
The only thing I'm going to question now, and the only reason, listen to me, Alex Cora is cheating because that team stinks in Boston. And I will go on the limb and say that there's no way he's not cheating.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it.
Too. Yes, the Yankees are in fourth. There's no way the Red Sox should be in first. That's my biggest gripe, too. Because nobody can tell me they're not cheating. Ridiculous.
You can't say they are. I mean, come on.
If there's a Yankee fan out there that's satisfied with this, read it, put it in a comment, send it to me, because I will blast you. This is ridiculous as a Yankee fan if anybody accepts this losing. ridiculous.
Oh, I'm not saying Yankees fans should accept losing, but you can't blame it on the Red Sox. I mean, you can blame the fact that they've been just wait. Didn't they sweep both series so far?
Tampa Bay, shut your face. Okay? All right. Okay. Ron, let's move on before I decide to leave this show altogether tonight. Because now you just got me all worked up.
Oh God, I love it. And that must mean that it's time for something.
What time is it, baby?
It is pick and roll.
Pick and roll, baby. So episode 20 tonight. So as we've done in the past, we're gonna famous number 20s, and we're gonna rank them. Don't jump, Eric. Yeah, if you do, Ron. Yeah, push first. Push Ron first.
I'll be first. I want to be. I actually want to be first.
He wants me to, if I'm gonna jump, to push you first off the ledge, is what he's saying.
I'll go first.
No,
I got
I'm
this,
first, baby. It's my.
I got a gripe.
It's my week
with this list.
It's my week.
I got a gripe list.
Oh yeah, really? Okay.
Okay, good. Take it away.
All right. At number five, Ray Allen.
Yes.
10-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champ, 18.9 points a game, shot 40% from three, Hall of Famer. But only 4 out of his 19 years in the NBA, he wore the number 20. Shouldn't even be on this list. So the research I did and the website that I had, I don't even understand how he's on the list when he barely wore the number 20. But that's neither here nor there. At number 4, I had Ed Reed. 9-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champ, Hall of Famer, 646 tackles, 64 interceptions in his 13-year career. One of the hearts and soul of that defense for Baltimore with Ray Lewis. That championship team that beat the Giants, Ed Reed was one of those key contributors. Number 3, Mike Schmidt, 3-time MVP, 12-time All-Star. He won the World Series once. Batted .267, 548 home runs, 1,595 RBIs in his 18-year career, Hall of Famer. But he also didn't wear 20 to begin his career. He wore number 22 and switched in 1973 to number 20. So, again, not a full 20. At number 2, Frank Robinson, considered one of best players in Major League Baseball history, 2-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, won the World Series twice, batted .294 for his career in 21 years. You think about that. 586 home runs, 1,812 RBIs. But again, twice in his career, he did not wear the number 20 with the Dodgers and the Indians. So again, not a full number 20 throughout his career. As great as he was, not a full 20. So that leaves Mr. Number 20, one of the greatest running backs of all time in NFL history, Barry Sanders, who in his 10-year career was a Pro Bowler 10 times, 6-time All-Pro, 1-time MVP, 15,269 yards, 4th all-time in the NFL. If he didn't retire when he did, he would have been the all-time rushing leader, without a doubt. Some of his highlights, it's just still amazing to this day, and still one of the best players in Tecmo history. Just throwing that out there. But Barry Sanders, number 1 overall. Kevin Youkilis gets a nod over here from Dan.
Yes. All right. So my
Ron,
gripe with your list.
Go.
First of all, I knew all these players did not wear 20 there, so little like to put any of these players. So I have Ray Allen, just like you did, at number 6.
5.
Yes, I said number 6. Nope, 6.
Oh,
6.
you're adding somebody. Okay.
I added somebody.
There's a hockey guy. You added a hockey guy.
At number 5. Wait. Stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have Ed Reed, just like you.
Okay.
Number 4. Number 4, I have Mike Schmidt.
Schmidt.
And
Schmitty.
Schmidt. Yep. At first, I was thinking, all right, this guy is going to be my number 2. And then I did numbers, everything, and blah, blah, blah. And it came out to be number 4. Number 3,
Yeah.
I have Frank Robinson.
Frank Robinson.
Definitely, clearly
You find
was
a
the
way to
better
get a
player.
hockey guy in every time. Hockey guy every time. Go.
Yeah, well, because you overlook him. Number 2, I have Ed Reed. Oh, wait, I already did it. So
No,
I've
you
got
did
my
Ed
numbers mixed up. Number 2, actually, yes, you're right. Number 2, that's why I have it mixed up. Luke Robitaille. Yes, that's right. Luke Robitaille.
Interesting.
Dude had 668 goals, and he was left off this list? That's insane. He should have been on this list.
Did he wear 20 his whole career?
What?
Did he wear 20 his whole career?
Well, none of these guys did. He had one year where he wore a different number. He started off with a different number and then moved to the number.
All right, go ahead.
So
Luke Robitaille,
Luke Robitaille, 668 goals, 1,394 career points, plus 71 career. This guy was awesome. And he was awesome his whole career. He was a great goal scorer. And for him to be not on this list is blasphemy.
How do you put him ahead of Frank Robinson, though?
He's way ahead of all those other guys. But unfortunately, way ahead of him is Barry Sanders.
Gretzky, not Luke Robitaille.
You're talking about number 20s. These are 20s. Okay, Frank Robinson. Yeah, he had some good numbers, but he didn't even have 3,000 hits. So he wasn't, the best of all time. Like, he's not one of the greatest. Like, one of the greatest. Like, if you have Hank Aaron and Babe and Willie Mays, that's greatest.
Yeah.
Frank
Dan
Robinson
basically said your list is basically gone to 15, top 15 because you got Ed Reed 9 times.
No, I made a mistake and said Ed Reed number 2, but because he's second on
Luke
this
Robitaille.
list over here. So
number one
is Barry Sanders. It's not even close. Like Barry Sanders, just by the eyeball test. You don't need even need. Look, he could have played 3 years and he's still best player.
You think anybody can even debate it? Like, that's not even a debate.
Average 6.1 yards per carry. No, it's not. It's like, okay, so the list comes out. Okay, number 1 is where does everybody else fall?
Everybody else fall, right? Absolutely. So that's our pick and roll. Ron, great job. I love that you added.
It's not close. It's not close.
Luke Robitaille. I like it. Great ad. The hockey guy. Always got to make sure he throws his hockey in. I love it. Awesome. So once again, if you're joining us, we are live. We're on Rhode Island Broadcasting every Friday night.
I wouldn't have thrown him in if he wasn't. Go ahead.
No, so we got a little bit of a delay there. I'm sorry. So every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. On Twitter at Broadcasting RI. Instagram, Sports_Unfolded. And on our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and Google. So we're really excited about so many different ways that you can listen to Sports Unfolded. If you like us, follow us. Like the Facebook page. Follow everything you can. And we look forward to hearing from our fans.
Twitch.
Ron.
Twitch as well.
Twitch as well. Face-off time. So we've changed off a little bit on the format. So it's just a 2-minute free-for-all. And we're just going to fire back and forth. So today's face-off is the NFL fined the Washington football team $10 million as a result of the league's investigation into the team's workplace culture. Was this a fair punishment? One of us has to agree with this punishment. One of us has to be against it. Dan has chimed in plenty of times. So, Dan, do you have an opinion on who should be for the penalty or the punishment and who should be against the punishment? We'll let Dan pick it.
As we wait.
He's on a delay too, he said.
Can we even do
Sports
that?
Unfiltered does not
I'm not
own
sure
the
we can
music
do
rights to that.
I'm not sure we can even do that.
I don't
Tough.
think we can.
What are they going to get?
So we're gonna. How
I'll have to wait for
about?
it. Come on, Dan. Let's go.
I was for the Cowboys last week, so you'll be for this week. How about we just switch it up? How's that
So
sound?
I'm for the penalty?
Yeah, you agree with. Oh, Ron against it. Never mind. We're back in. Ron, you're against it. You believe it wasn't.
I'm against the penalty.
Okay. So you ready? Let's go. Okay. So I would say that.
Oh, me? I'm first?
No, the NFL made a decision. $10 million. A lot of this will go towards different groups to try to help with workplace culture and how to basically learn how to deal with, different situations better. So I think the NFL did right by it. I mean, it's one of the highest penalties the NFL has enforced. So I could see where it made sense.
I can see why you would think that. Because, first of all, I'm against this penalty. And it's not for the reasons where you might think. I'm against it because it's not enough. They missed the boat on this. Dan Snyder didn't suffer. Like $10 million isn't suffering for Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder's suffering should have been gone from the league. Enough is enough. He is abusive in every facet of the sport, whether it's dealing with employees, dealing with players, just being downright inconsiderate.
So if you think about how many changes
I'm against this because it's not enough.
How many changes did they make? His wife now is doing the day-to-day operations. So they put a female in one of the highest positions in the organization. They've fired.
It's his wife. It's not really putting anybody in charge.
They've also fired several of the individuals who were involved in any of these situations.
Right. I mean, who do you hire? His cousin?
It might have been, I don't know, Snyder Jr. I don't know. It's probably right. I don't even want to argue this because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't even understand how they didn't take away draft picks. How do you not take away draft picks? Hurt the team in other ways.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what, Ron?
The penalty wasn't enough.
You won this face-off. No, absolutely not.
I know I won. I'm absolutely right.
No, you won that one. I couldn't even argue this if I wanted to because you know why? It wasn't.
I didn't even get a chance to out the draft picks. If the Patriots sneezed on the wrong side of the field, they'd take a draft pick away.
Yeah, exactly. Only team to have a draft pick taken away twice now. Number ones. 2 number 1 draft picks taken away.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We still win.
Yeah. It's what we do, baby. It's what we do.
Tough.
Prediction time, Ron. You went 3-1 last week.
Oh, I won again. Seems to be a trend lately.
Listen, I got to go with my heart. I'm just disagreeing with you just so we can have something interesting each week. Most of the time, you're picking pretty well.
I know.
All right. So tonight,
I think it matters when somebody goes first. The other person has to.
Yeah.
The other person.
My turn to go first. My turn to go first. So.
All right.
I should win next week. Game 3 tonight. NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Tampa Bay at Montreal. Montreal needs to get off the snide tonight. Price is going to be a brick wall. Tampa Bay will not score more than 2 goals. Montreal wins 3-2. Takes game 3 at home.
You're out of your mind. Tampa Bay is walking all over this team. All over this team. I don't see them not scoring 4 for the rest of the way, which is only going to be 2 games.
Montreal has proven that they are one of these resilient teams that when they're really down, they can come back. At home with those fans in Canada, they're going to be excited.
At some point, Cinderella must go home.
What was the last team to make the Stanley Cup Finals from Canada? Was Vancouver? Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Against the Bruins?
You are correct.
Canada's waiting for a champion.
They're going to keep waiting. It's not happening. Yeah.
Woo!
Sure it is.
Montreal.
Tell that to the women. Tell that to the USA women who have won gold like 6 times in a row now.
July 3rd, Bucks at Hawks, Game 6. This could be the deciding game for the Bucks. They could go to the finals. I think they're going to choke.
This is tough.
I think Giannis not playing. I think Trae Young definitely comes back for this game because he knows they need him to win. Hawks win this game, tie the series. We go Game 7. We need a Game 7 in this series.
Well, earlier in the show, I said Atlanta would win Game 6, so I have to keep going with that. I have no choice. I that's just the way it is. Because if the G-Man isn't going to be in the game, they are not winning this game.
The G-Man, he just gave him Giannis, baby. All right, so July 5th through July 7th, Milwaukee at New York Mets, 3-game series at New York.
I'm actually stunned that you actually picked this series as a series to go to.
Literally no good series. I couldn't find anything that I liked.
Is that bad? Wait, isn't there anything in like cycling? What about the French? The
French.
Tour de France.
The Tour de France. Hey, put it this way.
Yeah,
Ron, I'm picking the guy that had the sign, held up the sign that knocked all the bicyclists off to come back and do it again.
Oh,
that's my pick. I want that guy back.
Yes.
How do you get arrested for that?
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know. But it's like, okay, give me the rider that is not doing steroids that doesn't get caught. Because everybody else will get disqualified and he'll win.
Bro, all that, the blood transfusions, all that, man, they got it rolling there at Tour de France. So,
it's sport in the world. It's the most corrupt.
Did you see
it's terrible.
Did you ever see that when they did the whole thing with Lance Armstrong and all the stuff they were doing? Did you ever see that documentary?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
I mean, it was unreal.
Appalling.
It's unreal.
It's appalling.
I don't get it. I don't. But who you picking in that? Oh, I got to pick. I'm going Mets. Mets win that series.
Man, I hate Milwaukee.
What? Ron doesn't mean that. Anybody who's watching from Milwaukee, he really doesn't mean that.
No. I don't mean I hate the city. I mean the team is just not good. I'm sorry, it's not good. I have to go Mets. So it's all on
Montreal.
Yeah, I know they
tonight.
have a winner. Yeah,
Canadians.
So, oh my God, shut up. So our week lies on this Tampa Bay Montreal game
tonight.
So
expect some text later.
The Mets in that.
Expect some text later about it. Be ready when the Canadians win.
Yeah. Wait. So you're gonna have a box of tissues?
Yeah, to give to you.
Some over?
Yeah, no, to give to you because once you lose, you're gonna.
Because I'll be laughing so hard, I'll be crying.
All right. So, if you enjoyed this week's show, next week we got a couple topics we're going to cover. Obviously, the NBA Finals will be up and running. We may have a possible NHL champ that we will discuss. And then pick and roll next week. Athletes who have been in films. So we're going to rank some athletes who have been in certain movies.
Wait a minute. Are we rating their athletic ability or their acting ability?
We're going to rate the movie itself. So let's just say Longest Yard, Michael Irving. With Adam Sandler. You know what I mean? So we'll vote.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We'll rate some of those movies.
Kazam.
Yeah. Dan has just called you the Lance Armstrong of Sports Unfolded, which means you're a dope. Doping.
Really? You had to go there.
I did.
Dan had to go there.
Dan went there.
First, I can't do needles, so yeah.
All right. Good call.
That's just how it is.
All right. So once again, if you haven't watched us before, how we end our show is on our final thought. Our final thought could be about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world. You went first last week, Ron, so I'll go first this week. My final thought is on Serena Williams, who had to withdraw from the Wimbledon as she's chasing to tie a 24th major title, and just the agony of where she's at. And we look at some of these great athletes that we have seen recently just start to have issues. You know, Tiger Woods with the injuries, and then, you know what I mean, the car crash. I'm sad to see it because she was definitely the queen of tennis for so many years. I hopefully she can get that one tie to at least be one of the top ever to do it. But take nothing away from what she's accomplished in the world of tennis. One of the greatest athletes of all time. Serena, I wish you well. I hope you get better. I hope you get a chance to at least get that 24th title. And that's my final thought.
Very good. Yeah. One of the greatest athletes of all time, by the way.
Without a doubt.
All right. So of great athletes, I have to give a shout out to all the Olympic athletes that are going to go in 2021 in just a short period of time. What is it, like a week or two?
Yeah. Tokyo.
They missed out. A lot of us out last year, and that's a shame that they couldn't fulfill like many of their dreams to go to the Olympics. But let's not forget about the athletes that are going this year in 2021, and we hope for nothing but the best out of all of these athletes. And please remember that there are world-class athletes in all these countries. And if they don't come home with gold, silver, or bronze, that it's not the end of the world for us as fans to watch them. Just enjoy all the stories that you will see unfold. Sports unfolded.
I love it.
In Tokyo, there will be some wonderful stories. And please support these athletes, whether they win or lose, now and upcoming years, because we need to make sure that these people are praised for the job they're doing, not ridiculed if they don't win.
No, great point, Ron. I mean, let's just enjoy it. You know, COVID took away some of that last year, so we have a really good opportunity to just enjoy this year and enjoy these festivities. Want to thank our fans for joining us live. Dan, as always, thanks for being a loyal watcher, supporter. We appreciate you. Mickey, thanks for the question for this week's show. If you haven't checked out the Wrestling Den, it's our new Sports Unfolded presents the Wrestling Den with Rick, Kenny, and Nick. They're on every Thursday night at 7 p.m., so check them out on Rhode Island Broadcasting, YouTube, and Twitch as well. You can watch us every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter at Sports Unfolded, at Twitter at Broadcasting RI, Instagram at Sports_Unfolded, and our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and Google. Ron, it's been a pleasure. Great show, man. A lot of heat today. I appreciate it.
I think this was a great show. Like,
great
the
show,
fire
man.
Is there.
The fire is there. Only look forward to next week to see what else we can bring. But I'm gonna say goodnight to all our fans out there. Thanks for watching, and go Canadians.
Good night, everybody. We'll just ignore that.